said, we are here today for World Mammography Day. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so you would have been seeing all over the place people wearing pink. You see the pink ribbon out in full effect. And that's because we've been trying to raise awareness about breast cancer and helping to get women to get screened a lot earlier. As you know, early detection saves lives. And I've been thinking about it, since the month started and seeing the increased awareness, the increased activity surrounding Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I remember being here last year, Cara, with a lot of ladies in the parking lot as well, awaiting their screening. And I'll be honest with you, up until last year, I never really took it very seriously, personally, on a personal level. I know this is a disease that affects a lot of women, and pretty much everyone knows somebody who's been affected by breast cancer. You may have had somebody in your family who's been affected. My best friend has a tattoo of the pink ribbon in honor of her aunt who passed away as a result of breast cancer. But the thing is, I'm a young person in my 30s, and I've never had a family member who suffered from this disease. And so, up until last year, I always thought, I don't really have to worry about breast cancer. That's for people who have a family history and people who are older. And I was shocked to learn on this very broadcast last year that the vast majority of women who end up becoming diagnosed with breast cancer do not have a family history of the disease. More than surprised, I was shocked to learn that particular fact. So all this time, and we do know that yes, if you have family history of any cancer, particularly breast cancer, it increases your chances of getting the disease. That is a fact. And age also increases your chances of getting the disease once you're over 40. And we'll be hearing more about those risk factors later on this morning in the program. But notwithstanding those two facts, even if you have no family history, you are still at risk and possibly at high risk, because the majority of women who get breast cancer have no family history. So their mother never had it, their sister never had it, auntie never had it, grandma never had it. They are the first ones in their family to have breast cancer. And that is a frightening fact. That really opened my eyes last year. And even though I'm not 40 yet, I still have a few years to go before 40, there are still things that younger people can do to try to detect this disease and to be aware of this disease. For example, the breast self-examination that you ought to be doing regularly. I see the ladies in the parking lot looking at me. I hope they're all doing their regular breast self-examinations. Yes, ladies? Yes, they're shaking their heads, yes. So you can still do your regular breast self-examinations at home. I do mine in the shower. I never used to bother. Before I heard that statistic last year, I was like, I don't have anything to worry about. But now I make sure right around the time of my monthly, in the shower, I will do my breast self-examination just to make sure that everything is okay, that nothing is out of the ordinary. Because it's good to be familiar with your body as well, to know what natural lumps and bumps there are, what your body feels like, so that when there is a change, you can be immediately aware of that change. The other thing I wanted to touch on in this conversation was something that a colleague raised to me yesterday, because I told him, I said, okay, in this segment, in What's on My Mind, I'm going to talk about, I'll say something about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, since we are doing this live broadcast today. And he said to me, you should talk about the discrepancy in funding for gender-specific cancers. Now, Kari can probably guess who it is who made those comments to me. We call him at work our resident masculinist. Siobhan Campbell, quite the character at NNN. I like to tease him and say he's a male gender advocate because he's always bringing up these types of issues that affect men. And so he said, you know that breast cancer gets a lot more funding than prostate cancer. And I said, I can see that being true, and I can also see why that might be true. Even though they're both gender-specific cancers, only women, well, no, that's not true. Not only women can get breast cancer, but mostly women get breast cancer. But only men can get prostate cancer. Women don't have prostates. I said, I can see why that might be true, because look at this event today. Look how many women have already turned up bright and early, 6:30 this morning and well before, to get their breast cancer screening. Now, if there is to be a similar event for men to get free prostate cancer screening, how many men would actually turn up? Yeah? And that's unfortunate because women tend to take their health a lot more seriously than men do. And that's just a fact. For some reason, the men don't like going to the doctor. And of all the things that they don't like doing at the doctor is a prostate exam. And so the demand for funding for woman-specific cancer, aka breast cancer, even though it's not limited to women, would be more than that for male-specific cancer, prostate cancer, because there are more women actively seeking to have their mammograms. There are more women actively seeking to take care of their bodies in this way, to get the preventative screening. There are more women who have been able to detect the presence of this cancer early because of these measures that they've taken. There are more women who would have been, there may be more women, I don't know the statistics on this, but there may be more women diagnosed with it because there are more women who go to the doctor to check, who are able to find out, and are able to find out not at the last minute, like what happened to a lot of men who, because they put off that prostate exam, their wives try to urge them to go, they don't want to go, they never go until it is too late, until the cancer is so large that they can't bear it anymore. They finally go and they find out, and at that point in time, they, it's really too late in the process. And so I want to urge, although this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, for everyone to really be aware of your bodies, to take care of yourselves, visit the doctor, both men and women, and this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month and World Mammography Day, get your screening. Go to the doctor. If you're over 40 especially, if you're even in your late 30s, get your screening. There are many places that offer it for free or at a reduced rate. Here at the Jamaica Cancer Society, it's a year-round service. It's not always free, but it can be a lot cheaper than accessing it elsewhere at a private facility, for example. But take care of yourselves. We're going to be talking a lot more about this later on in the program, on the front page and beyond. This is Nationwide This Morning. We take a break. Come back with more.